Hello, everyone. Welcome to our reading. Today we are doing a shadow work oracle reading. So, this is looking at what do you need to look at in your shadow? Okay, what do we need to look at that we might be avoiding? Okay, what is something that um, we should be seeing that maybe we're not really aligned with? So this is what the card deck looks like. It's a really nice card deck. It's relatively new. Um, I just got it, and I thought that, right now is a great time for people to be working on things during the winter months. Sometimes we have a little bit more time to slow down, stay inward, ground a little bit. So this is a good time to do some shadow reading and see what it is that you need ooh, to work on. All right. Oh my. Okay, so let's take a look. These cards are just excited to come out today. All right, so we got quite a few cards. So let's see. So your message is take a look at the things that you are neglecting. Tend to your inner garden and it will flourish. Okay. So if you are neglecting something, um, what is it that you are neglecting? Maybe it's self love. Maybe it's something that you miss doing. Right? Maybe it is spending time with people you enjoy. Maybe you've been telling them that you're too busy or you're too tired. Disregard, overlook, forgetfulness. Okay, so sometimes we don't realize how important something is until it's not there, right? So this is reminding you to pay attention to the situation before it's too late, Like this toy has been neglected. It's been left outside. It's been the rain, the elements have affected it, and it has been it has seen better days, right? So just be aware of situations that you are neglecting. It's easier to fix something before it gets to the too bad. Okay. So if you can prevent something, even a little bit of time might prevent a lot from the situation to come. Illusion. Seek reality. Okay. Even if it's raw and challenging, face the illusion, the mirage, yeah, the fantasy. Pay attention to the truths that you're being asked to speak into, walk into. Notice what you're creating that might not even be real. For some people, maybe their work really isn't a good work environment, but they stay there and they just keep telling themselves that it's the only place they can get. It's the only place that's going to work out for them. And maybe that's not true. Okay, maybe they are living in an illusion because they don't want to take the action that needs to be taken to do the process of finding another job, as an example. So just be aware of the illusion. Maybe you're neglecting something, but you think it's not that bad, but in all reality, maybe it is something that's really bad. Okay. Distrust. Faith in oneself can rebuild trust in others. Okay, so if you have left somebody down in the past, um, or somebody has left you down in the past, it kind of creates that distrust. All right. So this card is telling you to work within. Trust yourself. Once you build yourself up to where you don't need anybody else because you have faith in your own self to make whatever you want happen, whenever that happens, there's a change within you because you no longer are needing anybody. You no longer are judging anybody. You're just kind of doing your own thing, making your own thing happen. And then in return, people see the difference in you, and then they see the new, changed you. Okay. So if you are a person that maybe you didn't held to your word, maybe you didn't follow through on things, but now you are, people's gonna see how that people's going to see that difference. People's going to see how you're holding yourself accountable. People's going to see how you're showing up for yourself. For others, maybe your faith in yourself has taken back the control that you had given to others. Okay. So if you have faith in yourself, then that faith in yourself stating that you don't need anybody else, it kind of puts the power back in your court so that somebody else doesn't have control over how they treat you or how they make you feel. Okay. So distrust can be a good thing in ways because it helps you to see what needs to end or what needs to change, right? Your next one is resistance. Go with the flow and be open to life's changes. Okay, so the path of least resistance works better with the universe than when you're trying to resist the universe. Okay, when you're forcing yourself against the universe, then the universe source is going to give you obstacles that you got to get through because you're not cooperating with the soul purpose. Okay, so this is telling you to face the situation, let go of denial, let go of refusal, um, let go of the need for control, let go of fears. Okay, resistance often comes from a need to control the situation or an undefining fear. Okay, so ask yourself, why are you being resistant to this? What is causing you to feel resistant to this situation? Okay, what can you do to change this energy so that it aligns better with you and so that you're moving with the river, not against it? Okay. Your next one is desire. Be honest with yourself. Harness its power to manifest dreams, not delusions. Again, here we go with that illusion card. Okay. What you desire cannot be neglected. What you desire cannot be an illusion. What you desire cannot be ground cannot be formed on distrust, right? And what you desire is not going to go anywhere if you're in resistance. So what you're desiring, the universe is clearly saying you have to see how you need to make this happen. Okay, you have to see what you're doing that's causing the resistance to this. Maybe you're blaming the universe for not moving, but a lot of it could be you not flowing in the energy that needs to be flowed in so that what you are desiring comes to truth. Okay, if you're trying to manifest dreams, you want to be in alignment with those dreams. That's really important. Okay, because if you're not in alignment, then you're gonna zig when you're supposed to zag kind of situation. Okay, so you want to make sure that your desires or align with your actions, your heart, and your mind. Right. So we have numbness. Yeah, I just said that. Make sure your actions are aligned with your heart and your mind. Okay. If your heart is closed down, if you're not able to feel things, if you're not able to allow these emotions to come through correctly, then the frequency of your heart is not going to be in alignment with the frequency of what you're trying to pull in. Life is full of frequencies. Nature works off of frequencies. And if you are not in a place of vibrating in your heart space and in your mind space with what you're trying to do, then it's not going to come in a way that is inviting or a way that you truly want it to. Okay. So work through the numbness, find out what's causing it. What are you doing that is allowing this numbness to fill your heart? Okay. Um, allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you need to feel and then release it. Ask the universe to release this for you. Being able to release the numbness, being able to release the emotions helps you to not become numb to situations. Okay. We don't want to become numb to situations because when you become numb to a situation, you truly are disconnecting from the situation. And when you're disconnected, it's very hard to bring in anything because the world works on frequency, right? So if the world is working on frequency and you're disconnected from the energy, then like you're in a space where like nothing happens. You're just kind of like co-piloting, okay? Or people around you can bring in the energy that they're pulling in because you're numb, so you're going to pull in what they're wanting more of, okay? So just be aware that stepping into your emotions can be scary, but it's also empowering. You need to own your emotions. When you own your emotions, they don't own you. And when you own your emotions, you can then understand them, transform them, release them, and move forward. Okay. Avoidance, yeah, we just talked about that too, is like facing what you fear. For avoidance is but a temporary refuge. So things that you are afraid to face needs to be faced because here's the thing, it's not going to go away. It's kind of like a storm brewing, right? It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it happens. Okay, so avoidance is basically buying time, but the situation still is still there and it's going to stay there until you address it and bring about an understanding of what you can do with it. Okay, so anytime you have avoidance, what you want to do is ask yourself, how is this avoidance? What am I neglecting that's causing this avoidance? What am I avoiding? Okay, because you're neglecting. This avoidance, is it causing an illusion? This avoidance, is it causing a distrust issue? This avoidance, is it causing resistance? Is this avoidance making me further away from what I desire? Is this avoidance causing me to feel numb in the situation that I'm in right now? Right? So everything, if you look at these cards, everything connects to everything. Every card so far is a connection to each other. Okay, so yeah, avoidance brings judgment. Judge less, understand more. So when you are avoiding something, you are judging whatever it is that you are avoiding. You're judging yourself for avoiding it. You're judging whatever it is that you're trying to avoid. In return, you're actually casting judgment energy out into the universe. So that's going to, in some situations, it's going to give you back the opposite of what you truly want. It's going to give you back criticism. It's going to give you back doubt. It's going to give you back defeat. It's going to give you back emotional distress because you're judging a situation when you truly are avoiding it. And if you would avoid it, there would be no judgment because it would be avoid. It would be it would be um, it would be addressed, and the energy would be concluded, and then there would be no judgment because it would all be released. Okay. So we have guilt. Release the chains of past mistakes and embrace the growth they bring. So everybody makes mistakes. This one here shows the heart in chains. Okay, so maybe this has got a lot to do with the numbness, okay, that goes on. So this guilt is telling you that nothing moves forward with guilt. Guilt is a very low energy, and nobody's perfect. If you think that you're supposed to be perfect, that's not going to happen. Nobody is perfect, and it's not your place to hold guilt on something that is done and over with. Apologize to yourself, apologize to the universe, apologize to the creator, but let it go, put it down, understand that that was then, this is now. Okay, guilt only keeps you in in jail. Guilt only keeps you confined. It only keeps you in resistance. Okay, resistance to love, resistance to peace, resistance to happiness. Guilt, guilt is giving your power away. Guilt is allowing something else to have control over you, right? So if somebody makes you feel guilty, for example, then you are allowing that person to have some kind of force, over you, whether it's mind control, heart control, emotions, a physical guilt where you feel like you shouldn't do something because this person can't, whatever. Like guilt can be a very painful situation when it comes to shadow work because it just keeps coming around. But sometimes it needs to come around a couple times before you and each time it comes around, just release it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Send love to the situation. Just keep releasing it because one thing about guilt is we can release it every time we feel it. And then eventually when that feeling comes around again, it won't be there. Like if somebody tries to make you feel guilty, right? And then you tell yourself, it's not I should not feel guilty about this. It's not my fault that this is the way it is. I don't need to feel guilty. I don't need to carry this. This is not my guilt. If you keep telling yourself that, eventually when that person says that to you again to trigger you so that they can take your power away or they can make themselves feel bigger, better, whatever. Eventually whenever they say that, it's not even going to register to you anymore. It's not even going to mean anything to you anymore. You're not going to feel anything because you have released that trigger. You've released that energy that holds you back, okay? And guilt can be your own self-talk. You can make yourself feel guilty. You can hold your own self back by saying, no, I shouldn't do this because of this, or no, I shouldn't do this because of that. And you can do that to yourself and cause your own self to have guilt. And that doesn't necessarily have to be somebody else causing the guilt. It can be you just allowing yourself to feel guilty because you feel like you shouldn't receive this or you shouldn't be in this energy or you shouldn't move forward because you need to take everybody with you. You are only responsible for yourself. You're not responsible for somebody else. And that sometimes can be really hard to come to grasp especially whenever you are a person that likes to protect people or a person that likes to help everybody so that everybody moves forward together. But you have to understand with guilt energy, sometimes you can't do the work that's required by other people to do. Okay, so the guilt card is telling you where's the guilt coming from? Is it being inflicted on you? Are you inflicting it on yourself? What can you do to release it? Yeah, fears. Face your darkness. It's the only way to find the guiding light. All right, so go into your fears because your fears are what is going to transform your heart, transform your mind, and help you to see where you truly, truly align. Okay. Fear has a bottom line. You're not just afraid of ladders, there's something that caused that fear. Figure it out. Right. Sometimes we have fears and we're just like, oh, I fear this. And that's just it. But we never really take the time to answer the why. Why do we fear this? Why is it there? What's the purpose behind it? Where's okay, I fear dogs. Why do I fear dogs? Oh, because I was bit by a dog whenever I was a child. What kind of dog was it? Well, maybe I should go interact with those kind of dogs. Understand from a different perspective that not all dogs react that way, right? Maybe it's uh a fear of failure. Well, where did you fail in your life? What causes you to feel this? Did somebody call you a failure? Did you feel like you left somebody down? Have you felt like you're not good enough yourself? Like, where does this fear come from? When you face your fears, only then can you do the shadow work that you need to release them, right? And then whenever they come back, they're not as strong. Sometimes you can hold on to fears but they don't hold you back. Like you can say, yeah, I'm afraid of heights, right? I'm scared to climb heights. But if I have a belt on and I'm fastened to something that I know is going to hold me, well, maybe I can work past that fear. Or maybe I'm afraid of ladders, but if I have three people holding the ladder, then maybe I can face my fear because I know the ladder's not going to fall. Because if something happens, somebody's going to catch me, or the ladder's, going to be very stable because there's people holding it. Like there are such things as holding on to your fear, but transforming it as well. In our last two cards, we have rejection and control. Okay, so through the sling of being left out, we discover our own inner worth. Okay, so maybe you felt rejected and maybe you allowed it to close you down, shut your heart, cause you numbness, pull you back, give up on your dreams. But this is reminding you that that rejection, you're allowing it to control you. Okay, you're allowing the rejection of something or someone or yourself to control your steps forward. So let go of the illusion that you're rejected. The truth is you're not rejected. The truth is that you are meant to go in a different direction. You're meant to, if this door closes, that's okay because another door will open, right? So re redirection, rejection is redirection. Okay. So just tell yourself that if this isn't going to work out for me, then instead of just giving up, I'm going to go in this direction or that direction. Okay. Control is based off of what you allow. So you have to tell yourself, where does your freedom begin? Are you going to stay awake all night worrying about things that you're not truly working in the direction to change? Or are you going to get a good night's sleep and in the morning address one thing at a time to move in the right path, right? Control is all about pulling back your energy and seeing where you're allowing your energy to be used, and also being aware of how you're using your energy. That has a lot to do with control as well. If you're giving your energy away in fear, if people will use that. People will use that as a vulnerable asset to them, right? So be aware of any control issues that you have and why you have them. Do you have control issues out of fear? Do you have control issues out of distrust? Do you have control issues out of avoidance, guilt? If you have control issues, why are they there? Do the same energy work that you would do with fear. Why is it there? How can I change it? What can I do to release it, right? Same thing with control over you. If somebody is using your fears against you, you are giving your control to somebody else. You're allowing that person to know your buttons and to know how to push you and how to make things work for their benefit. Okay, so be aware of where your control is. Is it neutral? Is it biased? What energy are you allowing to come into your life that is making you feel less empowered? Okay, so this is our reading for our shadow work. So I hope this reading has helped you. It's a pretty in depth. This was a pretty deep reading, but as you can see, all the cards connected together for a beautiful reading that needs to be acknowledged, needs to be understood, and this is a reading for transformation. Somebody really wants to move forward, they want to make changes, and the universe is speaking to you through these cards, and the universe is saying this is what you need to see. This is what you're not realizing. Okay, so now since you got the message and you're able to realize what needs to be done, I wish you the best. You can do this. You can make this happen. Shadow work can be hard, but it will pay off. It is beneficial, and many people will benefit from you doing the work as well because you make an effect on anything and everyone you come in with when you change yourself in your own personal space. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful evening. And it was a pleasure to do your reading. Bye.